After two difficult away games in the Premier League in the last episode, today we're looking to bounce back against another title rival and a team that we've already beaten this season in the Carabao Cup. Welcome to episode 5. Welcome to episode 5 of Leeds United Pride of Yorkshire. So, in yesterday's episode, you will have seen us play two of the Premier League's big boys. Unfortunately, we came away from both of those games with no points. We lost 1-0 on the road to Manchester City, where we didn't play great, defended resolutely, and only conceded a late goal to not get any of the points. I thought for a split second we were going to get a point, but that all changed with some lax defending from a corner. And then in the Arsenal game, we just got completely overrun. We were 3-0 down, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. But in today's episode, we are going to look to bounce back. We are playing another title contender, so it might be difficult in the first game, and that is going to be against Chelsea, before we then go and play Wolverhampton Wanderers, a team that we have already beaten this season in the Carabao Cup. So, a quick recap of what's happened since you've been away. We go and look at the schedule. Since the Arsenal game where we lost 3-0, we were back in Premier League action. We actually won 1-0 against Aston Villa in a game where we played really well. We only scored the one goal, and that came from Click. It was set up by Firpo, but you can see we created enough chances. Our XG was only 1.03, but we did have 5 shots on target, and I think we played really well and fully deserved the 3 points in the game. We then went to Leicester and unfortunately lost 3-1. At one point, we got the game back to 1-1 after Jamie Vardy gave Leicester an early lead. We scored from a corner, didn't create too much, and scored from our only shot on target. So that was a little bit disappointing. But goals from Vardy, Pereira, and Barnes made sure that we didn't come away from there with any points. And since that game, we have won the last 2 games. So we played Arsenal again, this time in the Carabao Cup, and it was a bit of a topsy-turvy game where, again, we didn't play very well, but we actually were really clinical in this game. So at one point, we were 1 down, then we equalised, then they took the lead, Tavares scoring after 58, and then Shackleton and Daniel James in the 80th minute made sure that we came away with a win, and we are in the next round of the Carabao Cup. So even though we didn't play very well, it's still a victory. And then last time out in the Premier League, we won 3-2 against Watford in a bit of a topsy-turvy game where we dominated for long periods. We were 1-0 up, then we missed a penalty through Rafinha before we found ourselves 2-1 down, and then we came back in the 54th minute before winning it in the 95th minute with another penalty. I was brave enough to leave Rafinha on the penalties after his earlier miss. He stepped up and tucked the ball away. So that's up to date with the schedule. Looking at the competitions and the Premier League, you can see that we are currently sat in 7th place. We have 15 points, and we are only 4 behind Chelsea, who we play today. So if we can somehow beat those, we will move a lot closer to that top 4. Ideally, I'd like us not to lose, so a point in this first game would be a big achievement. I understand it's going to be difficult, but it would be a big achievement. And then we play Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are currently sitting 15th on 9 points. So hopefully that's the game that I think that we can actually go and win. So let's find out what happens in the first game when we face off against Chelsea. In the last episode, we were getting overrun by some of the bigger teams. For example, when we played against Manchester City and Arsenal, they were dominating large areas of the pitch. We couldn't really get the ball back. So what I've decided to do is slightly tweak the formation. Not gone completely away from the 4-1-4-1, but what I did instead was split it into 2. So I've devised a 4-1-4-1-A. And basically, the biggest change on the pitch is just that Phillips' role goes from DM to an anchor. He will play deeper back. We also then have changed the mentality to balance to give us hopefully more balance in the middle of the field. We have also changed a few of the instructions. So when we are getting the ball in possession, we are looking to overlap using our wing backs because that's one of our biggest strengths. We are then looking to play the ball into the box early when we are in the final third. In terms of in transition, not a lot has changed there. And then out of possession, we are now playing with a much deeper, lower defensive line and a slightly lower line of engagement, even though it's still a higher engagement, and we are still looking to press. So hopefully that will give us a little bit more stability, stop those balls that were getting in behind us when we were playing Manchester City and Arsenal, and hopefully will allow us to pinch points when we go on the road against the big boys. And that's exactly what we are doing today against Chelsea. So the lineup that we are going to hopefully pinch points with is Meslier in goal, Firpo at left back, Clark, Llorente and Dallas round out the back four. Phillips is playing as his anchor position. We then got Daniel James wide left, Adams and Click in the middle, with Rafinha wide right, and Sesko gets the nod up front after Bamford was singled out for his performances by the board. So I thought we will give Sesko a chance in today's game. So let's see how we get on against another of the title contenders as we play Chelsea. We begin the highlights packages with a throw-in for us. Firpo plays the ball and it comes back to Tyler Adams. Plays it to Firpo, swings it in, and there is Sesko. Nearly made himself an instant hero, but his header goes over the bar. Would have been nice if we could have took that chance, especially as we back that up now with another one by the looks of it. Dallas is on the ball. He plays it all the way back to Meslier, who's out of his goal. Rolls it out to Koch, who brings the ball forward. Plays it forward to Click, Adams, Sesko. This is some good link-up play here. Daniel James is going to look to beat his man. Turns back and finds Adams. Adams plays it to Firpo out wide, who swings the ball in. And luckily for us, there's nobody there to meet it, but it does only go as far as Dallas, who now plays the ball with Llorente. Sesko's on the turn, he's running at them, but he goes out wide. Plays it back to Dallas, who gives it to Adams. This is quite long-winded, but it's a good spell of possession for us. Rafinha is going to try a shot from distance. And we are back with the ball, but we have lumped it up the pitch to Azpilicueta. This is all happening quite early in the game, 16 minutes on the clock, and the 3 back-to-back highlights. But Chelsea are bombing forward now with Reece James. He crosses it in, Pulisic with the header, and there is Meslier at the back post to deal with it. Throw in for Chelsea then as Christensen throws it to James. Kante gets it to Havertz. Jorginho picks the ball up. Havertz, Chilwell's in behind, and Lukaku is not going to miss from there. But luckily for us, the flag has gone up on the far side. You could see it straight away. Referee did run in and point. I think it's going to VAR. It wasn't as clear cut as was made out by the ref. And the goal has been disallowed. So luckily, there are little indicators there when the VAR is in play that you can see the referee straight away ran in with his hand up. And that was the right call. Half time in this one then, and looking at the stats, we have played a lot better in this game than we did in the last couple. Chelsea still really dominating in terms of the possession, 53%. They've had 6 shots, 4 on target, but we have been in the game. We've had shots, and we did have those couple of highlights where we could have had chances. Okay, they had the disallowed goal, but looking at that, we're playing a lot better than we did in the previous game. So maybe this little tweak in the formation is going to have a difference. Let's find out as we jump into the second half. Meslier then is going to have a goal kick. Plays it to Koch. Plays it to Llorente, and then Meslier blasts it forwards. Daniel James tried to get the ball, got nowhere near it. Comes to Pulisic, and he has pulled his shot wide. Bit of build-up play coming here as we are working the ball through the middle of the park. Adams plays it to Phillips. We're knocking it around quite nicely in this game. I have to say, the times where we have seen ourselves in possession, we are playing some good football. The ball lands at the feet of Rafinha, who swings it in. There is Sesko with another header. And this time, his header is over the bar again. Chelsea then with a corner. Pulisic swings it in. And there's a player gone to ground at the near post. He's given a penalty straight away. It's gone to VAR again. This time, it's a penalty awarded. And Chelsea are going to get the chance. It's Mason Mount who's going to take it. Steps up and Meslier goes the right way. Almost gets down to save it. But Mason Mount manages to score. And we are now going to make a couple of changes. So, with us going behind, I may as well just go to the original tactic. I'd rather us lose by a couple more than not try to at least get something out of the game. I'm going to bring Adam Hlozek on. And I am also going to bring on Adam Forshaw in place of Tyler Adams, who is on a booking, and see if anything can make a positive change there. So when we come back, there is a highlight in the background as the ball's being knocked about again. Junior Firpo to Adams. Oh, just disappears. Throw in for Chelsea then, as Chilwell throws it to Kovacic, plays it back to Rudiger. Christiansen, they're knocking it around quite nicely now. They're in comfortable 1-0 winning mode as Mason Mount bursts forward. Nobody's anywhere near Reece James on this side as he crosses the ball in. And unfortunately, there is Kai Havertz. But the referee's running in again. We've got another VAR decision, so 3 in one game. Let's see if we get lucky with this one. Checking. And goal awarded this time. So they've had a goal disallowed. They've now had a goal awarded. Rafinha is looking absolutely knackered over there. But there's no point bringing him off for the last 3 minutes of the game. We are 2-0 down. As I said, I would rather have lost 2-0 and had a go rather than just sat back and just basically take a 1-0 loss. So another big team we have travelled to, and another big team have turned us over. A lot better performance, I feel, this time. It wasn't as if we weren't in the game at all. We have created some chances. We had some highlights of our own. On another day, we might have took 1 or 2 of the chances and maybe got out of here with a point. But as it turns out, Chelsea were the better team. They had the goal disallowed as well, had the penalty, and won 2-0. So no time to dwell on that as we move forwards, and we are going to go straight off and play against Wolverhampton Wanderers. After losing 2-0 to Chelsea in the last game, today we are going to be looking to bounce back against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So back to our traditional 4-1-4-1 formation. This is the lineup we are going to put out to hopefully get us 3 points. We've got Meslier in goal, Firpo, Koch, Llorente and Dallas at the back. We've then got Phillips, Adams and Click, Harrison, Rafinha and Karim Adeyemi is going to come in up front. A little bit of worry about both Sesko and Bamford's form. Neither of them are scoring goals. So we're going to try and play with Adeyemi up front and see if he can get in and amongst the goals. And yeah, we're going to see what happens as we try to bounce back against Wolverhampton Wanderers. The first piece of match action is a throw-in for us. Harrison gets the ball, tries to work into the box, but plays it back to Firpo. He crosses in. There's Adeyemi, and he has a header that's gone just over the top of the crossbar, and that follows on with a free kick as Rafinha is going to run towards goal, plays it to Harrison expertly, but Jose Sarr gets down, turns the ball around for a corner, and we're going to see what we can do from this set piece. So Rafinha is going to swing the ball in, and it's dealt with by the defenders, but goes back to Rafinha, takes his time, turns back, plays it to Harrison, to Koch, swings the ball all the way out to Llorente, who tries an ambitious shot. He then supermans his way past the player to get the ball back before we work it the other side of the box. And then Rafinha is in, and the same outcome. Jose Sarr gets down to his right and pushes the ball round for a corner, and Rafinha is going to swing this one in again. He does. He gets defended well, but Phillips picks the ball up. He's going to play it forwards, and then I think there's either I hope there was somebody offside because it went straight out for a goal kick. Another free kick for us as Dallas plays it to Rafinha. The ball's worked back to Llorente, who takes his time. Phillips with the ball over the top, and Click is into the penalty area. Nobody there supporting him though, so he plays it back to Dallas. Back into the penalty area with Click, who then plays it straight to the Wolves player, who lumps it up the pitch. Koch picks it up, and we're working it forward with Phillips, Llorente, back to Phillips. Ball in behind for Harrison, who's going to beat the keeper there, and this time Sarr can't keep it off. And Jack Harrison scores to give us a 1-0 lead after 18 minutes. Brilliant piece of play this. Kept the ball well, moved it really fluently. Llorente, Calvin Phillips with that ball in behind. Perfect amount of pace on it. It did seem like it was the goalkeeper's ball, but Harrison's quick off the mark, gets down and sticks it in the back of the net. Another free kick, and Rafinha's on this one. Swings it into the box straight to Semedo. Connor Cody dwells on the ball, and we're going to try and close them down. They're still passing it about, and Cody again to Otto. The press is working well as we force them all the way back to the goalkeeper, but they are going to play out. And Samido gets the ball, plays it forward to Trincao. He plays it over the top for Hee Chan, and that's an impressive goal too. Can't do anything about that as they've worked it out from the back. The long ball. So Samido plays it forwards, and then Trincao just one touch over the top into the path of Hee Chan. He tucks it away past Melier. 1-1. In at half time then, and it's 1-1. We have played well in the first half, but just haven't been able to take our chances. We could have been 3 up before they scored. As it turns out, we only scored the one, and then they've scored on the counter attack with the big ball over the top. So, no need to panic. I think we can get on top in the second half. And let's jump straight in and see what happens. We're just past the hour mark in the game, and you'll notice if you follow the videos and see the way that I play the game, the hour mark is when I like to try and make some impactful substitutions. So I am going to switch Sesko in for Adeyemi, see if we can't get a bit of cutting edge up front. And then I think I'm going to give Rafinha a bit of a rest and bring Daniel James in on the right hand side and see what happens. A throw in then, and Dallas to click. Plays the ball over the top. Sesko chases, but Connor Cody is there to deal with it. And then from the big kick forward, Hee Chan heads it on. It's dealt with, and Dallas plays it to Adams. He plays it to Sesko. Click now is running at them. Daniel James has given the ball away there. It's lumped all the way back to Koch. He plays it to Phillips, and Harrison is out wide. Adams tries the ball through and doesn't get there. Wolves end up with the ball, and they're passing it around nicely here at the back. We are trying to press, but again, they play out through the press. Somebody needs to stop them. Instead, we leave Samido in space on the right-hand side. He's into the penalty area, cuts the ball back to Hee Chan. And Hee Chan has had 2 shots and scored 2 goals. 50th goal of his career. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? This is a player that actually I did see at Red Bull Leipzig in FM21, and he was good in that game. So I am not surprised to see him do well in FM22. So 75 minutes on the clock, and we are losing 2-1. So my last change is actually going to be to change defenders. And the reasoning for that is if we can get set pieces and try and hit Ahmed Hodzic, we might be able to get something from a set piece. So fingers crossed, it's the last roll of the dice. Wolves are playing out from the back again. We are trying to press, but can't stop them. Hee Chan is on the ball again. He's beat one man, plays the ball in behind, but luckily Koch gets a foot to the ball. James is now going to try and run at them. He's going direct. If he can get into the box, he can, but he has to cut back to Dallas. Dallas has a shot. What a finish that is. Stuart Dallas. Take a bow. Hits it right-footed into the top corner, and we are back on level terms. So Daniel James does the damage getting in behind, but he kind of runs himself down a one-way street, turns back on himself, lays the ball off to Dallas, who smashes it right foot into the top corner. A throw-in for Wolves, and this isn't what we want. We want to take the ball away from them with 10 minutes left of the game. Samido crosses it in, and Raul Jimenez has headed the ball, but we've got more VAR checks. We had 3 in the last game. This is the first one of this game. And they've disallowed the goal as well. So Jimenez with the big header. Let's have a little look at just how much he was offside. Oh, that's tight. I don't know if that... Without looking down the line, that looks really tight. But it's one that's gone in our favour, so I'm not too fussed. I'm pretty sure we're going to get 1 or 2 against us across the season. Okay then, so full time, not the result we wanted. We have outplayed Wolves. We have a 2-2 draw, only a point to show for our efforts. We did play well. We had 10 shots, 8 on target, a 1.26 XG. And it's becoming very apparent where the goals are coming from. Midfielder, defender, none from the strikers. So it seems like we have a bit of a problem here with goals. Not sure whether that's something in the tactic or something to do with the players. Might be a bit of a confidence thing. Maybe put Patrick Bamford back in for the next game. But a 2-2 draw and a point shared at Ellen Road against Wolves. So only after picking up 1 point from those two games, we are now sat ninth in the table. We have a -1 goal difference. We are on 16 points. So we're not dead and buried. We're certainly not looking over our shoulders yet, with actually 6 points ahead of Burnley. So that is actually quite scary that there's only 6 points that separates ninth to 18th. But we don't want to be looking that way. We want to be looking up. Let's have a little look at the schedule and see where we are going to come back next. So with all these games out the way, I think we might come back. Oh, we've got to come back here, haven't we? 4th of December, Man U FC, and then Tottenham in the league. 2 home games, 2 Ellen Road games. We've got a few games there, Crystal Palace and Southampton, to sort things out, to get ready for those 2 games. And hopefully we can be in fine form come the visit of Man U FC. That's episode 5 in the bag then. A little bit disappointing in the loss to Chelsea. And then we get a 2-2 draw with Wolverhampton Wanderers, where we actually played really well, just couldn't finish them off. And in the end, we were probably the lucky ones to get the point with the disallowed goal for Raul Jimenez late on. So we are going to push forward in the game and come back for that Man U FC game. But if you're at this point of the video and you're still watching and you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button to help the channel out. Very appreciative for everybody who's done that across the months I've been doing YouTube. All the support has been really, really great. So I'm going to wrap this one up, and I will catch you on the next episode when we play Man U FC and Tottenham.